we're going to excuse the hair, and we're going to excuse the beard, and we're going to excuse everything about me that's a little unkempt right now. It is almost 11:30 on a Friday night, but we're going to start now. This is something I feel God's calling me to do. We're going to share some videos. We're going to give some encouragement. We're going to try and say what God wants me to say. And I want to start with an important message about initiative, and that God appreciates people who take initiative. He tells you what you want, or rather, he tells you what he wants. He tells you what he expects. He might even tell you directly what he wants you to do. And you might have been waiting on a written invitation. Well, here's his word. He tells us to go, tell people, preach, tell the whole world about his gospel. He tells us to testify, to be witness. Martyr means testify. It means someone who gives witness. So he's already told you. He's already told me. So if you know, it's time to do. And tonight's my turn to do. I want to share very briefly a passage that God led me to just the other day that's got us here to this moment, which is out of Judges chapter 3. I didn't have this marked. Judges chapter 3 says, Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them, as many of Israel had not known all the wars of Canaan. Only that the generations of the children of Israel might know to teach them war, at the least such as before knew nothing thereof. 5 lords of the Philistines, and all of the Canaanites, and the Sidonites, and the Hivites that dwelt in Mount Lebanon, from Mount Baal-Hermon unto the entering of Hamath. And they were to prove Israel by them, to know whether they would hearken unto the commandments of the Lord, which he commanded their fathers by the hand of Moses. And the children of Israel dwelt among the Canaanites, Hittites, and Amorites, and Perizzites, and Hivites, and Jebusites. And they took their daughters to be their wives, and gave their daughters to their sons, and served their gods. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and forgat the Lord their God, and served Balaam and the groves. Therefore the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he sold them into the hand of Chushran-Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia. And the children of Israel served Cushan-Rishathaim 8 years. All right, so I don't know how to say that guy's name. Whatever. The point of that setting right there is God wants us all to know how to fight. Not physically, but spiritually. And maybe you've never had a fight. Maybe you've never had a real war or anything, or a real battle, or till now. And there's some things left, maybe in your family, that you have to fight. There's enemies, spiritual enemies that operate in your family. And maybe they're there because you're the generation that needs to know how to fight it. But I also bring it up because there's a battle that needed to take place, and it didn't happen. A whole generation of people pushed it off. So when we jump from verse 8 of that same chapter, we jump a few verses to 15, and we meet a guy named Ehud. That's how I'm pronouncing it. It says, But when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord raised up a deliverer, Ehud, the son of Gera, a Benjamite, a man left-handed, and by him the children of Israel sent a present unto Eglon, the king of Moab. But, so that means something, Ehud made him a dagger which had 2 edges, of a cubit length, and he did gird it under his raiment, under his right thigh. And he brought the present unto Eglon, king of Moab, and Eglon was a very fat man. And when he had made an end to offer the present, he sent away the people that bare the present. But he himself turned again from the quarries that were by Gilgal, and said, I have a secret errand unto thee, O king. Who said, Keep silence. And all that stood by him went out from him. And Ehud came to him, and he was sitting in a summer parlor, which he had for himself alone. And Ehud came unto him, and he was sitting in a summer parlor. And I have a message. I'll say that again. And Ehud said, I have a message from God unto thee. And he arose out of his seat. And Ehud put forth his left hand, and took the dagger from his right thigh, and thrust it into his belly. And the haft also went after the blade, and the fat closed upon the blade, so that he could no longer draw the dagger out of his belly, and the dirt came out. When Ehud went forth through the porch, and shut the doors of the parlor upon him, and locked them, when he had gone out, his servants came, and when they saw that, behold, the doors of the parlor were locked. They said, Surely he coveteth his feet in his summer chamber. And they tarried till they were ashamed, and behold, he opened not the doors of the parlor. Therefore they took a key, and opened, and behold, their lord was fallen down dead on the earth. And Ehud escaped while they tarried, passed beyond the quarries, and escaped into Serath. And it came to pass, when he was come, that he blew a trumpet in the mountain of Ephraim. And the children of Israel went down with him from the mount, and he before them. And he said unto them, Follow after me, for the Lord hath delivered your enemies, the Moabites, into your hand. And they went down after him, and took the fords of Jordan toward Moab, and suffered not a man to pass over. And they slew Moab at the time about 10,000 men, all lusty, and all men of valor, and there escaped not a man. So Moab was subdued that day under the hand of Israel, and the land had rest 80 years. So what's all that? I bring that up to say that when I said it, but Ehud, that it means something. It means that he was the only one that expected it. No one was expecting Ehud to come in, assassinate their enemy, and then lead a charge. Ehud was the only one. He took initiative. He knew that they were not meant to be subjugated to these people. The Israelites were God's people. They were not supposed to be slaves. And so he took the opportunity, when it was given to him, to present a gift. He took that wide open door and did something no one else did. It wasn't that he was his responsibility only. Maybe it was everyone else's responsibility. Maybe there was a whole bunch of other people. I mean, how many times did they pay tribute to this guy and nobody did that? We don't know. But we do know that when he did what no one else did, there was freedom for 80 years. What are you doing or not doing that you should?